as I was going through the weight today, I kept thinking about how does this weight feel on me? So as I was going through 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate, all the way up to 190 kilos, which is 90% of my 1 rep max, I kept thinking about how does this weight feel? What muscles am I feeling engaging? How does my core feel? How does the bar on my back feel? I kept thinking about these things because there is a weight that feels good and there are other weights that don't really feel good, like that mind-muscle connection. And so you would think that the higher the weight, the more concentration you have, the more connection with your body you have. So 190 kilo weight should feel the best because you are engaging those muscles the most, right? There's a lot of intensity. But what in fact you find is that 90% for one doesn't really feel on the muscles. It's really, really weird to kind of sit here and try to explain to you guys how a 90% weight feels worse than, say, a 50% weight. When you are lifting 90%, your number one concern is to get that freaking weight down and up. Okay, so you are just using whatever means possible to get that rep completed. And a lot of the times you are using, how should I say this? You're using every muscle at your disposal. But when you are using weight, let's say 100 kilos, so something that's freaking 50%, right? 50% of my 1 rep max, there is no concern about the weight crushing you, killing you, injuring you. And so then you use what you want to use, right? I know for a fact that my quads are strong to wholeheartedly control the 100 kilos. And so I bias my body in certain positions to make sure that the quads are the primary movers in that movement. But I can't do that with 190 kilos. Maybe you can, if your quads are your primary movers, you can do that. But if you are interested in, say, perfecting your squat pattern, if you are not so happy the way you squat, you want to focus, you want to highlight a certain muscle group which is lagging, you want to have a certain position through a movement, certain movement pattern, it is very hard to do at a certain point of a percentage of your 1 rep max. And to me, I'm going through all of the weights. So 140 feels all right, but even that, I felt like I was maybe bouncing a little bit too much at the bottom. I didn't have full control of the weight for those 10 repetitions throughout. Now you say to yourself, you did 10 freaking reps. That's pretty good control, man, right? But I don't know how or why, but it feels like I would need to pause that weight to really hone in and focus on that mind-muscle connection. This is something that bodybuilders always talk about. What freaking muscle are you using, right? So there's these compound movements that we all agree are the best movements, right? But then some people bias their body, change their positioning in such a way to assist that movement and use more weight. So this is where this divergence or this separation between, performance and bodybuilding kind of separates itself. I was enjoying the 100 kilos today. And 100 kilos is far away from a 1 rep max, but I was enjoying it because I was able to fully control the weight and fully load the knees and get away from my, let's say, my glutes, something that's really strong on me. I keep thinking about this discrepancy that I have between the squat and the deadlift. And I know there should be a discrepancy. Most people should be stronger in the deadlift. And my deadlift is like 55 kilos beyond my squat, even though I think my squat now should be a little bit more than 210, maybe 215, maybe 220, something like that. But still, it's a fair distance away. And I keep thinking to myself, okay, just judging by that, I know that I have more strength in my posterior chain. And so when the weights get heavy on the squat, I tend to lean on those strengths. And if I spend too much time with, say, weights that are not, lending themselves to that mind-muscle connection, I keep strengthening the strengths and keep leaving away and forgetting about the weaknesses. And this is where I think spending too much time with, like I said yesterday, 75 and up weight can be misleading, even though lots of research, lots of smart people say that the majority of your training should be between 75 and 85%. I still think at least every day that you come in and squat, you should spend some time with 50% weight. Because when you do that, you will notice that you are doing it a different way. It's almost like every level, every percentage, every 10 percentages seems like it's a different skill, it's a different weight. That's what it feels like. The muscles which I was using at 90% were different. It felt different than the muscles that I was using at 50%. It's weird, man. You know, I did at 90% you do 1 rep, right? So that's not a lot of repetitions. So I can't do more, right? Like I can't rep it out. I just felt lots of strain in my belly, right? Lots of pressure throughout the lower back, belly area. I'm feeling contractions, but it's not like the contraction that I feel even with 1 rep at 50%. With that sucker at 50%, 1 rep, I literally feel my quads engage. But with the 90%, I feel everything engage. You know, it's like there is no mind-muscle connection. It's like mind-system connection. And it's like you are wrestling that freaking weight up, and that's all your concern is. Your body is so over stimulated from all the freaking feedback mechanisms, from all those receptors in the body. All you're thinking is move the damn weight. And if you are trying to get stronger muscles, you need to kind of get that feedback. And this is where, you know, if you are stuck in that 5x5, if you keep doing that 80% or 75, 80%, like I did a few months ago, it's all well and good. The weight moves and you get stronger that way. But if you could somehow get like special cameras and coaches and around, you will probably be able to show some evidence of your form changing, you know, morphing into something that it wasn't on that first rep of that 25 reps, the 5x5. It's interesting. It's interesting. You know, there was a period of my life in this training period in the last 888 days where I was talking about, you know, sub 50, sub 60 programs and why I felt they were really good. I still kind of feel there's a lot of value in doing these high reps. And now my mentality is come in every single day and make sure I practice my sport, make sure I get up to like 90%, 80%, something like that. Make sure I train that system as a whole so we can move, you know, play the sport. But then also every single session I should kind of go back down the ladder and pay respect to the other percentages, because I think you need both. You need both. You know, if you want to get strong, just spending your, you know, all of your time in that 60 or 50% range is not going to get you strong. You're not going to teach the system to operate together. But having that said, just working on your system, I don't think you're doing yourself justice, because the system is dominated by certain players, and those minor players never get a look in, never get any sort of attention. And I think you need those peasants. You know, it's a battlefield. You need your freaking knights on, you know, heavy armor and, you know, lances and all that. You need the heavy cav man. But without people holding that front line, you can do whatever you want with your freaking high cav knights. You need the peasants at the front. You need people with the spears, with the rakes. You need people at the front. You need bodies, man, right? And this is that 50, 60%. No matter how good you think your knights are, they are nothing without an army behind them. They can't fight the whole freaking war by themselves. And so I think we need to pay respect to those peasants. We need to pay respect to those lower percentages. I truly believe it's not one or the other. It's a matter of including both of these to make a successful army. Appreciate you guys. Thank you everyone on the Patreon list, YouTube, and Instagram. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.